Hello, and welcome to let's do a meditation together. Some working with your awareness and breath, your body experiences as they arise, and working with might be a bit strong of a word for what we're about to do. So let's start off. For this, you'll want to be in a really comfortable position. And it could be lying down or maybe propped up in a certain way lying down. You could be probably quite comfortable in a chair, or if you're comfortable cross-legged on the ground. But at whatever position you choose, maybe it might be one you would choose to have a conversation with a friend that you were really interested in talking to, but also that you knew the conversation was going to last like 100 years. The conversation was going to go on for a long time. So in that way, there's no hurry. You don't even need to be like leaning in. You're just like, oh man, cool. We have a long time to explore what we're going to explore. And yes, you get really comfy, but it's not sleepy. You're not falling asleep because the conversation's so good, because the stuff's so interesting. So once you've found that, and you can sure shift throughout this as we're going. You can have your eyes be softly focused on something, or you can let your eyes rest. Either one, whatever helps this process of relaxing as the thing that is listening, as the process that is, if your eyes are open or even if they're closed, sort of sensing the colors, the change in color coming through your eyes, the change in light. That is hearing my voice, plus whatever other sounds are going on. Maybe you've got kids in the background or traffic, or maybe you're one of those lucky few, like I am right now actually, where it's pretty crystal quiet where I am. But whatever the sounds, just notice if it's a lot or a little, and you don't have to strain at all to hear those sounds. They're just coming right to you. The light is coming right to you. And then with a similar kind of listening, you could bring that into noticing sensation in the body, noticing the rise and fall of your breath. A lot of times, I don't mean to belabor this point, but a lot of times, when we talk about searching for something, a lot of our kind of brain stems start to squeeze and we start to search, like do this sort of tightening up thing. So just the kind of searching I'm talking about, or wanting to point us all to here, is really the same thing we were just talking about with your vision and with your hearing. Notice how you can really totally relax, and this sensation comes up to meet you. That you can totally relax, in this awake way, and that your breath is rising and falling of its own accord. Of course, it's doing this whether you're spacing out or watching TV or sleeping or paying attention to it like we are here. We're paying attention, but really without the step 2 of paying attention to do something, paying attention to manipulate. Just that real 100% effortless observation. And ironically, if you do sense effort, that's part of the observation, right? You can just let that noticing of the effort come to you. And as you notice the comings and goings in your body, in your experience, and it is all coming and going at different rates of time and different intensities. Right? So as these comings and goings sort of rise up effortlessly into your attention, just notice how it comes right to you. Like if you were the surface of the lake and you saw some bubbles rising on the ground, you don't need to plunge below your own depths to get them. So some ways you're just allowing this arising, this coming up of sensation, of your breath, sound and light. I'm saying those like they're four different things, but notice in your own experience, is that true? I think we could all use our left brains enough at this point to say, yeah, right. Sight is different than sensation. Sensation is different than hearing. But maybe you notice what's not different about all those. And if that feels fruitful, stay with it. If it feels a little like, oh, that's kind of a brain twister, I don't know, then you can just set it aside for a moment. And instead of thinking about it, right, again, we just have this sense of not even necessarily being at the center of everything, but maybe almost, to turn a phrase, having no center in particular. Just the phenomenon of light coming in. Do your eyes open or closed? If they're open, you can even sense this light, forming objects. We can note objects that's coming into you. And it's not a funnel, right? You're not there at the center, just this kind of boundaryless witnessing, or this boundaryless seeing. The ears, the process of hearing my voice right now. Similarly, in your own experience, you might notice, does this concentrate in one spot? Is that the phenomenon? Right? Is there a sort of thing in the center of this that's hearing? Or is it more like, without any straining, without having to do anything, there's this verb with no particular location. Sensation is arising and falling away. Comfort, discomfort, heat, anxiety. Warmth, coolness, numbness. And again, though I named those things like they were 7 or 8 different things, what's common about all that? Sort of feeling your way through that answer. If, in all this arising and falling away, you notice a sense of this sensation kind of starting to take on a certain shape or posture that may be familiar, bringing that same soft, so like 100% effortless inquiry to rest on that, oh, is that true? Is all this sensation sort of amalgamating around what I'm thinking of as myself? Is that true, or is that pattern kind of a feeling and thought form in and of itself that's just like everything else? is arising around no particular object, around no protagonist, but very much, again, sound, sight, sensation, anything that can be named as an observation, right, would be fools to deny that that's as real. This is what's happening. And that, maybe it's layer by layer, or maybe it's just all at once. Notice with no strain at all. At all. At all. It comes right up. It has the same dance it had, where if you were straining to hear it, if you were straining to see, if you were straining to feel, so we'll spend a few more minutes here in this place of resting, and back to maybe the beginning, what we said of in this kind of sweet and interesting conversation, right? That sort of posture, and the same spirit you bring to a good friend. Where you're just really loving being with them, and not in a hokey way. We all know sometimes your best friends can drive you totally crazy, so it's not putting anything on some angelic pedestal, but that kind of warmth of heart and mind of like, oh man, I love you. This is so good to be here with you. Not knowing what's going to come up the next moment. And your friend is anything you can experience right now, anything you are experiencing right now. Some of it sure appears more solid than others. My words are very ephemeral. The objects in front of you appear much more solid. The sensations in your body probably somewhere in between. But as we all know, right, this is not some sort of new age belief, but just real, absolute truth of it. Everything is coming and going. Right here, you are completely effortless, experiencing that. I will end the being with you part of the meditation here. Of course, sit with this as long as you want. Really glad to be with you. Thanks for showing up. And until next time.